Hello and welcome to a brief walkthrough of the Jamboard app for iPad. So, Jamboard is a web-based tool that you could use or you can download it on your device. I have it for my iPad here. It is the only icon that I've downloaded from the App Store, so I'll go ahead and open up Jamboard. So, we're going to go through a quick walkthrough of its features. At the very top, you can see in the direct middle, it has the number of boards or Jamboards that I have. So, those Jamboards are kind of like slides. I'm going to click on the arrow. It's going to open up and I can see that I can add a plus on either side. And what I can also do from the three dots in the top right hand corner of each is I can either duplicate, delete, or background. I'm going to go to background and I'm going to make this one a grid. I'm going to click on 3. I'm going to add a background. I'm just going to make it lined paper. So you can see that you have a few. You also have the option to apply to all. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on 1. And I'm going to leave 1 as a blank screen so I can show you some things. I'm going to click on the little up arrow to get rid of that. And now I'm going to go to the left-hand side and go through all of the tools that are included in that bar. So just from top to bottom, this is my drawing tool. I have my eraser tool. I have my cursor. I have the laser pointer, and we'll be going through all of these. And then I have the plus, which allows me to add some additional things. So the first tool I'm going to go through is the very top. It's the drawing tool. So if I hold it down, it's going to give me more options. I have the pen, which is highlighted. I have the marker, the highlighter, and then the brush. Each one of these has a different thickness, not anything crazy big, but a slightly different thickness. And then each of them has a slightly different transparency. What you can also do is you can pick from those 6 different colors. Down at the bottom, though, is what's really interesting and separates the iPad app from the web-based version is that it has some of these assistive drawing tools. So we've all seen a pen before, so if I select the pen and I click on the white, it just allows me to draw something. I can use my eraser and I can go ahead and erase all of that. All right, quick tip on the eraser, if you move your finger a little faster, it gets a slightly bigger so you can cover more area. I'm going to go back to the drawing tools. I'm going to hold it down. It's going to open up all of them. And then at the very bottom, it says Assistive Drawing Tools. It has text, shapes, and then some sort of drawing tool. So I'm going to click on the text, and notice it shows me text to typewritten text. So with this selected, I'm going to click on the Jamboard itself. I'm going to go ahead and write my name, and then it recognizes it and changes it into a typed object. Now with this object, you can see that it's outlined. So on my iPad, I can pinch and zoom to make it big. I can rotate my fingers to change the rotation of it. So I can put it on an angle if I'd like. And I can also pinch it down pretty small. When I let go of it, the object has 3 little dots, and I can either duplicate or delete. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. All right. So going back to my drawing tools, I'm going to hold it down, open up, and the next one over is just these shapes. And so similar to the text, I can touch on the Jamboard, I can make a circle, I can make a triangle, and I can make a square. I can even do a poorly drawn octagon, and it looks so poorly that it turns into a circle. But for each one of these, I just have to click on the 3 dots to delete. Now, since I'm still on the shape tool, I can't click on any of these. What I have to do is go down to the 3rd one and click on the cursor. So now the cursor has allowed me to select that object, and then I can delete each of those objects. So similar to a lot of drawing programs, if you're familiar, you'll just have to go ahead and get used to going back to the cursor to select objects to either make them large or small. And the final one on the drawing tool is at the very top. It's this little doodle. And so this doodle allows us to draw something, and Google's AI will recognize what we're drawing and try to give us a sticker. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Jamboard itself. I'm going to start doodling, and I'm going to make that cat that I saw. All right, it's a poorly drawn cat, but it recognizes it. I can click on the cat on the bottom, and this is the big difference. On the far right-hand side of that little toolbar on the bottom, there's a check mark, and that's going to insert the cat into my Jamboard. So if I click on that, it creates an object, and I can pinch and zoom, I can rotate as needed, and I can use the 3 dots to delete as well. So moving down, we have our eraser tool. Our eraser tool is pretty straightforward. We can also hold it down and it will ask us to clear the frame, so that deletes everything, which is a nice feature. The third tool down is the cursor, again, to select objects, to either change the size or move them. The fourth tool down is our laser pointer, and so if I had a presentation that had certain things on it, I could highlight them by circling them. Notice it doesn't draw and it goes away. So again, this is just highlighting with like a laser pointer as you would in a presentation. The nice feature of an iPad is that it allows you to add in additional things besides the sticky note. So the sticky note is actually in this plus. So if I click on the plus, it's going to give me sticky note, which is a feature of the web-based version. But then it also has images, which I can search, drive content, so I can insert something from my drive, which creates an object, which I can make bigger or smaller. My camera, so on my camera from my iPad here, I have my image library, and then I also have stickers. So if I click on stickers, it gives me options, all right, of these basic stickers and then a few like templates down below. Remember, Google is constantly updating their services, and so there'll probably be more stickers in the future, so just kind of be patient if you don't see the sticker that you want. But if I wanted to, I could click on the check mark and then go back to my cursor to select as an object, and then I just have to be careful about here as apparently I have fat fingers and I can pinch and zoom out. All right, so if I go to the top on the right-hand side, I can click on that arrow, get to my grid paper. I can go ahead and add a drive content, and it shows me everything that's connected to my Google Drive. I've got so many things here, but if I just find, let's say, 5th grade computer science, all right, so I'm going to click on that. That's a Google Doc. You can see that it's selected. I can't do much with it as is, so I'm going to drag it up to the top right-hand corner, and for some reason, when I double-click it, it opens up, and then I can click on it to drag an instance out. So now I have this, and this is a Google Doc of our 5th grade computer science, and now I can pinch and zoom, and I can rotate as needed. I can use the 3 dots to duplicate or delete. So it's a little tricky kind of using the Google Docs and inserting files from Drive. It took me a little while to figure that out, but as soon as you have it, you go ahead and just double click to open it up, and then you can pull out an instance and be able to modify it as needed. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and delete. I'm going to go ahead and delete that object as well. And then, so how do I share this? So if I wanted to, I could share this Jamboard with people online, so they could be using the web version, I could be using this version. We're going to go to the 3 dots at the top right-hand corner. Click on it. And then just like our normal Google apps, we have share, add to starred, link sharing off. I can copy the link. I could share the jam as a PDF. So after a notes session, I could share it out as a PDF to all my the people that were in there. Share this frame as an image. So I could also do an image that I can share as a PNG with people. I can rename, make a copy, and remove. All right, so a couple different options there. The final tool that I want to show you is down in the bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to go to the the Jamboard that was the lines. I'm going to go back to my drawing tool, and I'm going to select just the pen, and I'm going to write Brad is cool. All right. Now, let's say I don't want to write all of that. I just want to write Brad is. So I'm going to go down to the bottom right-hand corner, and I'm going to undo. What's also nice is that notice how the arrow pointing to the right also becomes alive, and I can redo. So I can undo cool, and I can redo cool as needed. So those were just a quick walkthrough of all the tools on the iPad version of Jamboard. Hope it was helpful.